Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's weekly Town Hall meeting, March 20th, 2023. Today's agenda: projects and development updates, documentation updates, marketing and content updates, and collaborations. Robinson, please start us off with project and development updates.
So as usual, I've made some changes to the format because over the last 2 weeks we're not having much of commits, etc. Commits or PRs have ignored the engineering updates. So jumping straight into the product updates. Starting with the blockchain updates on the legacy Peerplays blockchain code base, we have the latest alpha, and this is being verified against our libraries, and everything is working fine. So both the Python and JS libraries, there are releases being made for each one of them, and it should be working against the upcoming mainnet release as well. And we had some problems or rather compatibility issues with the faucet, which is account creation application that is also being addressed, and we have the changes in the development branch. We will we'll have to do a release. So for that, all the fixes or upgrades for faucet also will be completed. And with all these changes and fixes and addressing various compatibility issues and everything, we have a AlphaNet running, and the additional activities going on are we are trying to introduce our Python-based end-to-end test cases for the blockchain. So we're trying to integrate that to the CI, and in addition to that, from the DEX side for the orders, account creation, etc., we have a lot of regression test cases developed. So we're also trying to bring those into the blockchain CI/CD. So basically, the idea is that these two test suits will run against every new MR. Not just that, now since we are planning to put this graphene code base into a maintenance mode, these test cases will also help us to figure out if there are any bugs or other issues popping up. So essentially, we plan to run this on a periodic basis and figure out if there are any new bugs or any due to any dependency changes or other aspects getting introduced. And another activity that's going on is along similar lines. So we've been trying to do some more test coverage via the CLI wallet commands. So that is also in progress. So we have a like a proof of concept ready. So the idea is using the same Nimble test suite that if we are planning to execute these CLI wallet commands, which will give us a lot more coverage and also the performance testing. So we are working towards that. It may take another month or so to have this completed, but that's also progressing really well. Okay, that's on the legacy code base. Let's move on to the next slide for Peerplays 2. On the Peerplays 2, we're continuing to work on creation of the Genesis state. And currently, the tangible items is that we have a Docker image which will build our current code base. And I've also provided the code repository URL. If anybody is interested, welcome to check this out. Most of the latest changes are available on the master branch. In addition to these changes to Genesis, we are also working on the consensus algorithm. So aspects like how to reward block producers, how to elect these block or not exactly elect, how to identify these block producers, etc., are being discussed and designed. And so that work is also in progress, and we are also talking about how to uh, move or migrate tokens from the current chain, that is legacy Peerplays chain, to the new chain. So these aspects are being in various stages of design, and it's going pretty well. On the other side, there's the verification of smart contracts that's in progress, and we're trying to combine or merge these two activities. That is, we are using the Moonbeam testnet or DevNet for many of these verifications of the EVM, and we are also trying to bring the same uh, effort into the new code base that we are working on. So soon, in another 2 weeks or so, I'm hoping that we'll be able to move completely into this particular smart contract activity completely into the new Peerplays to code base. That's Peerplays 2. Let's move on to the next slide. On the next, we don't have too much going on here. So most of the work is continuation of what we discussed in the previous week, and we have started verifying the changes to voting screens and the cross-chain functionality against the alpha release. So uh, that has just started, and apart from that, the changes are mostly bug fixes and various improvements across the board. That's next. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. This is our new application together, which is going to be the mostly the first application built on top of Peerplays 2. And this is, in a nutshell, we're anticipating that together will provide us a means to onboard masses and also create ongoing creative engagement. So we've been running our design sprints for a while, and we have an initial consensus on how the application is going to look like, and we have user stories and other work in progress. So in the coming weeks, we'll have more details to share on this. So that's pretty much everything from the development team. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobinson. Sean, documentation update, please.
Thank you. So for this week's documentation update, our risk discovery workshop went very well last week and now is complete. We have about 120 potential risks identified across 3 areas. And during our workshop, we did a deep dive into the top 12 identified risks. So what we did is we came up with some risk mitigation and found our best response teams and developed a little bit of our response plans for these risks. For our next steps, we're going to create a risk register so that we can track these risks and follow up on the mitigation ideas. Other work ongoing, we have our designs for the Together app that Bobinson just spoke of, and also for PeerView with GBC, our work is beginning on our testnet. So thank you very much. That is my update for this week.
Sean, Michael, marketing and content update, please.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, wherever you are, and happy Monday. I wanted to start this week with one final request for participation in the 2023 Peerplays Community Survey. Thank you to everyone who has completed the results so far. We really appreciate the time and effort it takes to fill this out. Survey window ends tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. And as per previous town halls, we're looking for your anonymous feedback on most areas of the organization, including the vision document, which has been very favorably reviewed. Obviously, there's a lot of time and effort goes into platform updates, so we're looking for your feedback on the updated decks and the updated peerplays.com website. And we know that the journey on Scenes has been a long one, but we're really looking for your feedback on what we need to do in order for that to succeed as a platform and thrive within the community. If there are any reservations about completing the survey, the overarching intent is to really provide the resources that the community needs to become a Peerplays witness #1 and to participate in the community successfully. The process of analyzing and collating this feedback has already begun. I'll talk about some of those issues in a moment. And this week I will complete segmentation into different topics and areas and teams where we can improve or implement for 2023. Next slide, Kelly, please. We continue to see high open rates on our weekly emails. Mo is exploring the opportunity to automate some workflows so we can passively boost the open rates on these emails. We're engaged with the support team at Email Octopus to help us facilitate and fine-tune that process. This week's article blog on the website is the story around Amazon's plans to launch an NFT marketplace on April 24th. It's really insightful. I encourage you to give it a read. It all points back to our beliefs and our vision within the vision document and around individual empowerment and autonomy. We continue to push various aspects of our business on social media. So if you do have time, please like, share, comment. All engagement is appreciated. Next slide, Kelly, please. My apologies, I did not get the opportunity to break these out into individual slides, but I'll give you just a brief update on some items that we're working on. As per Sean and Robinson, and not to steal Jonathan's thunder, maybe as a participant in the Design Sprint workshops on Monday and Thursday of last week, I found those sessions to be really energized and positive. There were lots of free-flowing ideas and concepts thrown around. We did come to a consensus on what the together concept will be. We looked at a lot of different examples out there in the marketplace that may or may not be similar. And as Robinson mentioned, Sean and Christopher are working on the visual process flow and user stories. Vlad and Barris continue to collaborate on integrating the Peerplays blockchain into Scenes. The majority, if not all of that work is complete. The Avalon team will work that into their workflows of their next development sprint. Next step for us is to provide a mock-up of how that front end will look, and there'll be lots of collaborative work between Vlad, Barris, and Oksana on that. And just to give you a quick heads up, we are looking at rebranding Peerplays Scenes because we feel that the name is too close to an Avalon product and potentially renaming it Zone. So some meetings this week will be held to kickstart that process. Some insight into some categories that I'm working on. Met with Robinson and Mo on Friday to kind of look at some observability and service assurance processes. We want to make sure as a marketing and content team that we're communicating anything that may go wrong on our platforms to the community as effectively as possible. We know that this has been something that's been brewing under the surface for a while, and we want to implement these changes. So this week we'll be setting up a few conversations with some folks to make that happen. Based on some feedback from Rust developer candidates that we recently advertised for, we've updated the Peerplays descriptions on those sites which are typically used for HR-related issues, including Glassdoor and LinkedIn. That is a start of an ongoing process. We will continue to look at peerplays.com on our social platforms just to ensure that our messaging from a branding perspective is 100% clear to anyone who comes to our platforms as a potential candidate or employee. Working with Oksana on AI content creation tools, specifically, how can we respond to the feedback in the 2023 community survey, which asked for more how-tos, more demos, more product descriptions. And so we're really looking at methods to just take textual information like the Dex user guide, feed it into an AI platform and see what results we get in terms of easy short-form video content. That concludes this week's marketing and content update. Thank you, Kelly, for managing the slides for me.
Thank you, Michael. Jonathan, collaboration update, please.
These are the collaboration updates for this week with Peerplays. Within the standards category, there is the Government Blockchain Association, working with them in regards to decentralized ID as well as gaming workshops to create standards that will tie into their blockchain maturity model. And we attended their calls and also provided some input on those standards. We are also in talks with them in regards to an upcoming event they have, which is called the Future of Money, Governance, and Law, which is going to be taking place in Washington, D.C. in the end of May. So there's still more discussions on that, but that's essentially what's going on with GBA. And within the community sector, there is the Avalon Meta with scenes and community platform. A lot of what Michael talked about was what I was going to share in relation to we provided them the input in how they can be able to retrieve balances within Peerplays. So what that would do is it would make it possible for everybody who's using the Scenes platform to be able to utilize Peerplays token assets. And because we have sidechain capabilities, this also means that everybody would be able to use Bitcoin and Hive and Hive-backed dollars, as well as PPY and pretty soon Ethereum, not to mention all ERC20 assets. So this would be a pretty exciting update for everybody who'd be using that platform, and also would be something that would be keepable within the Peerplays community. So that'd be pretty cool. So that was something of an update. We also had some communications in relation to what's going on with Avalon Meta. As I reported several town halls ago, that they're in the process of actually going through an acquisition. And so these terms are now getting finalized. And so there was some communications in relation to that. It means that the Scenes platform is going to gain more exposure, which in turn means that all this work we're doing in relation to integrating Peerplays API could mean a lot of cool things. So there'll be more on that in the future. So all good there. In regards to dedicated team updates, there are no team updates at this time. We're team complete right now. So that's all for today.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments, thoughts? Nothing came in from the community over the week. If there were, they were answered through direct message. I'll leave it open to anybody here.
I'd like to share a thought, actually.
Yes, sure, go ahead, thank you.
So I just want to dovetail off of the work that has been done by Sean and Chris. The two of them have been working on this threats model. And this the work that they've done, and as you can see from the charts and everything else, has been absolutely amazing. This is their own initiative, to be clear. Like, this is something that they just kind of picked up and ran with, and they did so much good stuff in that. I was really impressed by it, and I think the rest of the team really appreciated it as well. So I just want to give a shout out to them and let them know that that was really good of them. And yeah, so excellent work. Also, just wanted to give a shout out also to somebody who's been behind the scenes in everything that you've been seeing going on, but has also been the glue that keeps everything together. And his name is Ty. Ty has been the program manager working with the team. So he makes sure that everybody stays on task and organizes everything, and basically just keeps everything running. So maybe glue isn't the right word. Maybe he's more like the oil to keep the engine running. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ty because the work he's been doing has not gone unnoticed. The team really appreciates his efforts. So just wanted to mention that as well. He's been with us for some time now. So it's all very good. So thank you, Ty, Sean, and Chris, for your efforts and for your individual initiatives. So awesome stuff.
Thank you very much. All right, that will conclude today's weekly town hall meeting, Monday, March 20th, 2023. Thank you all very much, and we will see you next month.